So I'm probably doing the least amount of work I've ever done throughout my Upwork career, yet I'm making more money than I've ever made. The main reason is this one thing that I had such a hard time doing earlier on, and that's charging more. I'm not talking about just doubling your rates for no reason, but doing it organically. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So to put it simply, I've always thought of raising prices. Obviously, if I can charge more for my services without any issues, why wouldn't I? But the problem was, it's just awkward. Like, I used to charge $15, now I charge $20. It's awkward. So one thing that I found is that if you want to increase your rates, you have to find a way to do it confidently. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. For example, like if you aren't able to confidently state your prices, you're basically just telling clients that you're not confident in your business, your services, and you pretty much have no idea what you're doing. It's pretty obvious and it's a clear turnoff for clients. So here are some personal tips on how I've been increasing my prices and my rates gradually over time. So first, raise your rates for all future clients while keeping your rates with your current ones. So for example, let's say you are currently charging $100 a month and you want to raise your rates to $200 a month. Don't just go to your current $100 a month clients that you're currently working with that you already signed and say, hey, I just randomly decided to charge $200 a month, so I'm going to have to up the price for you. Don't do that, because what I found is that it creates a potential awkward situation with the clients that you're currently working with, and you can end up losing them. So for me, what I do is I just keep whatever rate I sign my clients at, I keep, and I just have this mentality of from now on, whatever future client I do sign, I'm going to charge $200 a month. All right, next, I'm not raising my prices, I'm adding value. This is the mindset that you need to have. You are not raising your prices, you are adding value. So don't just say I charge $600 for my service. Say for $600, I'll create a tailored content strategy, design engaging posts for your social media, schedule them out for maximum reach with optimized SEO. Plus, I'll also include a bonus custom content calendar to keep your social media on track for the month. Now, what's the difference between this and this? You're selling value, right? This shows the client what value the $600 brings. All right, next, increase your rates gradually. Ultimately, if your goal is to charge $50 an hour, don't just go from charging $10 an hour to $50 an hour instantly and expect results. It's not going to work. You want to do it gradually, 10 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, and then when you have the demand, 35 to 50. Don't just go from 10 to 50 and expect results. And if you're wondering like when can I increase my rates, it's really about like the demand that you have at your current rate. And one thing that I learned is that if clients never talk back to you about your rates, you're not charging enough. You could be charging more. So here's what I did. Number one, get busy. Get as busy as you possibly can at your current rate. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, this video is about like charging more money and making more money, but it's not going to happen overnight. And I talked about it here. You have to find that demand. You can only really realistically increase your rates once you have that demand. And to get this demand, you need to get busy. Get as busy as you possibly can. And yeah, it's going to be hard. Not going to be easy. I have multiple videos on how to get clients, write proposals, whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about in this video. So just get busy. But once you get busy, don't just get complacent and stop. The thing that I found is that a lot of people are kind of scared to take it to that next step, including me. Like they charge, let's say $10 a month, and they get really busy. They get a lot of clients, they have a lot of demand, but they're afraid to kind of charge more and take it to that next step, and ultimately reaching that $50 an hour, because they're afraid that if they charge more, they're going to kind of lose the demand that they currently have. And I'll tell you now, it is true. You're going to lose demand, but you're still going to make more money because ultimately you're charging more, right? Let's say you're charging $10 a month, you have a lot of demand, and you increase your rates ultimately to $50 a month using, gradually increasing your rates. And let's say you have half the demand that you currently have. Yeah, you have half the demand, but you're charging 5 times as much. So you're still going to be making more money. So increase your rates and do it confidently. Obviously, there's going to be a ceiling to how much you can, keep increasing your prices. But find out what that ceiling is and keep increasing your rates until you reach that ceiling. And I know I'm not really, providing a lot of detail on this. This is just, a quick little YouTube video, but I need to clarify, don't just increase your rates randomly. You need to test it out. What I recommend is to test it out on different groups. If they all say that they can't afford your new rates, you're probably just aiming too high for now. Testing is super important. You need data. Don't just randomly come up with a random number and say, this is what I'm going to charge, or this is what I'm going to increase my rates to. If I ask you how much you're charging for a service and I ask you why you're charging that number, you should have an exact reason. You should be able to tell me exactly why you're charging that number. So run tests, try different models, do hourly contracts, fixed contracts, compare results, and figure out what price point works best for you. So to summarize, work until you get to a point where you have all the demand that you can handle, then increase your rates, lowering your demand, but you're making more money, and rinse and repeat. Easier said than done. You have to find the right clients that are willing to pay you the amount that you're worth. And like from my experience, the reality is a lot of Upwork clients are super, super cheap. So you got to be picky, because if you aren't, trust me, you're just going to fall into a trap where clients treat you terribly and take advantage of you. But if you can figure out how to find the best clients and build a system to where you're bringing in these types of clients consistently, you're going to get to a point where every proposal you send, every call you take, every client you bring on isn't a waste of time. And that's pretty much the ultimate goal.